What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Munch on Melodic, and today I have another collaboration video. Today we are partnering with DarkDevil26, aka Brendan. Say hi.
Hi.
So Brendan,
that's me.
That's him. That's him. He is the coach of the Trenton Thunderous and the Marlboro Mudsdales. He's got two names, and we're gonna be talking about some broken Pokemon today.
I like broken Pokemon.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button on my channel and Brendan's. His will be in the description below, as well as follow us both on Twitter. Links are again in the description. Definitely go and do that. And I believe you have your own little server, just like I do. So
I do.
What is it? The Devil's Den?
Yeah, I can pass you a link afterwards.
Yeah, we'll do that too. So that's gonna be there as well. Anyways, we have I believe this is part 4 or part 5. I can't remember right now off the top of my head of this Banlist discussion series where we go over these
part 4.5 in my opinion.
Yeah, it's both of them at the same time. But we're just going over some broken Pokemon, talking about them and how they would do in a regular format, whether we would unban them or keep them banned in our opinions. And I'm talking about them in a bigger perspective, in just a really, like if you had a free draft with a bunch of broken Pokemon, where would you take them? But yeah, without further ado, do you want to get started on the first Pokemon that we have? Hello?
My Discord was bugging out.
Oh, no, don't worry. Go ahead. Just go ahead and start talking. It's cool.
Alright, so to begin, we have our boy Blaziken. And here's how I feel about Blaziken, with Speed Boost to be specific. I mean, regular Blaziken as it is, as many of you guys have seen, I've used Blaziken before. Blaziken is very underwhelming without Speed Boost. However, with Speed Boost, Blaziken is a monster, and it takes this game to a whole new level. Its coverage is insane. It gets moves like Thunder Punch, and I know you said it gets Solar Beam.
Yep.
It can run Z moves like to go with that. Its coverage is insane. So Blaziken here is a force to be reckoned with. So my thoughts about Blaziken in regular League, and this is the one I want to talk about specifically, is that Blaziken with Speed Boost, I've seen Blaziken with Speed Boost allowed in regular leagues before. However, they do complex bans like they don't allow transfer moves, which I actually think is kind of silly if you think about it. Because, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of complex bans, but I think just banning transfer moves in general is just, it's really wonky to me if you ask me. Because I know there was an instance of someone bringing Thunder Punch Blaziken on accident in the PMC before I got there, and it costed them the game. So I really don't like bans that have to do with like weird clauses like that. So that's just my thoughts on Speed Boost. I cannot speak English today. shout out to just rolling out of bed an hour ago and yeah, recording 2 videos. Anyway, I feel like Blaziken in regular league shouldn't be allowed, but I'll let you go into detail about the Uber format. I haven't played Uber format in a while, plus I've been talking too much, so you can go on now.
Yeah, look, as many of the people watching this know, Brendan is actually the commissioner of the IBL, and I'm one of the members in it. I'm actually, I believe at this point that you guys are watching, I'm 7-2, actually picking up a 6-0 loss to Brendan in week 9, so oops. But Blaziken is a huge threat to so many different teams just because of all the different options it can run. You could be physical, you could be special, you could honestly be a decent support Pokemon because you do get defog now, and you do have access to Baton Pass, and just the fact that you get Speed Boost makes Baton Passing so much scarier. And if you're Baton Passing speed, whether it's +1, +2, +3, even with a sub, it's going to be scary. We all know how scary Scoldbeat can be if you don't have proper answers for it, and Blaziken has better typing, offensively and defensively in my eyes, and it just can do so much more in terms of an offensive perspective because it's not just locked into using Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Aqua Tail. This thing has so many different options. 120 attack, ridiculous. 110 special attack, also pretty damn good. And again, its speed is mediocre at base 80, but Speed Boost makes you not worry about that. So look, Blaziken is busted. I personally think it should be banned in every single format. If it were me, I think this is the most busted Pokemon we're going to cover today, by far.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the move pool right now. This thing actually gets a pretty good, decent support move pool. It gets Bulk Up, Defog, it gets Hone Claws, so you can Baton Pass into something really cool. But like I said, I have seen Speed Boost Blaziken allowed in regular leagues before, and they do some really, really weird complex bans. Like, they don't allow transfer moves. Like, I know this was back when Sun and Moon first came out, and they didn't allow any bank moves. That means moves like Thunder Punch would be banned. And like I said, I'm not really the biggest fan of those. But in general, I do agree with you that Blaziken should never be allowed with Speed Boost in regular leagues, just because this boy is busted.
I mean, back in the day when there wasn't any Pokebank, then yeah, sure, I agree with that. Go ahead, no transfer moves, whatever. But you get so many good options out of those transfer moves. You get Vacuum Wave for priority, which is nice, better than Quick Attack. You have access to your Thunder Punch, which is nice. You have your Fire Punch, I guess, which is less reliable than a move like Flare Blitz, because it's not going to do as much damage, but you're not taking that recoil, so it can be kind of useful there. But look, overall Blaziken is busted. We know this. Great stats all around. Fire and Fighting, even though we're all sick of the typing, it's still really good offensively as well. And
I'm sick of the typing too.
Yeah, but what can you do? Like, what is it? Game Freak wants to keep making firefighting types. Like, we can't stop them. We can just say, hey, enough is enough. We've had, what, 3 or 4 of these in a row? So just leave it. Drop it.
I actually want to talk about that for a bit. The whole complex ban thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in my opinion, we're going to be actually going into detail about a lot of mods that involve complex bans today, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know the next Pokemon we're going to go into, I'm going to keep it a surprise for now, also has to do with a complex ban. So usually Blaziken is allowed with Blaze because it's bad, but normally, like,
it's not bad.
in my opinion, complex bans are dumb just because I don't know. It's essentially, okay, so I'm gonna make a really bad comparison. Say you order a pepperoni pizza at a store, at a pizza place, right? You essentially order the pepperoni pizza just to take the pepperonis off it. It's essentially.
I get what you're talking about. That makes sense.
It's like you take the entire mod and you pick and choose what you want from it, in order to make it usable. Like banning moves like Seismic Toss Kangaskhan, which I think you covered already, but
yeah, look,
in general, just like
different. That's one move compared to
but like banning a bunch of moves on Blaziken, that I think is just like Seismic Toss. Okay, one move I can agree. But many moves, not really. Like I said, it's literally just ordering a pepperoni pizza and taking the pepperonis off.
Yeah, look, I kind of agree. I pretty much agree. Like, if it was Baton Pass you were banning, then I'd be like, okay, cool, this thing is a lot less broken.
Fine, obviously.
Like,
and I know
a lot less broken. But
and I know Small Gun does stuff like that too. Like, I know they banned Baton Pass, but like banning Thunder Punch, like Blaziken in general was a bank mon in Sun and Moon. Like, you couldn't get it. So basically, like, you'd be banning moves that it can naturally get in games like Oras. So it's kind of weird if you ask me, but
I mean,
in general,
it gets like all the access.
Yeah, now it gets them in Ultra. Now it gets them in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But like,
anyways, I definitely think it's time though for us to move on because we've been on Blaziken for like 8 minutes now. So we do have another starter, and this is another really good starter. It's probably in my eyes the best starter that is not like Speed Boost Blaziken, because Speed Boost Blaziken is usually banned. And that is Greninja. You guys have been asking us to cover Greninja for a long time, and this one is Protean Greninja. And, I mean, this thing is so good. It's so good. Like, I know you do a little bit of stuff on OU and on Showdown, so what are your thoughts on Protean Greninja?
Its coverage is insane.
Yeah. That's it.
That's pretty much all I need to say. I'm looking at its move pool right now. Flying coverage, dark coverage, psychic coverage, grass coverage, poison, every hidden power known to man, but I don't know, it normally only runs hidden power, fire.
Stab hidden power though, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly, and bug coverage for U-turn. This thing gets an amazing move pool. I can literally go on for days about Greninja. Yeah. And it can run physical sets, like it's not a bad physical, it can run lead sets with spikes and toxic spikes. This thing can do so much
priority
in
water
the format. Exactly.
Look, this thing is so good.
So much. Like, I can understand Torrent because, like, you know, it doesn't get stabbed and it's slightly weakened, but Protean is scary, especially since, like, it's fast, most likely going to be faster than you, and it could just switch up its types like that. You never know what type it's going to be. Therefore, you don't know what super effective moves you need to go for and stuff like that. For sure. And at the same time, like, Torrent Greninja isn't even that bad. Like, I'm using it right now in the PPL D2. I took over that team, and I'm loving Protean Greninja. It's definitely my... Sorry, not... I keep saying Protean, but Torrent Greninja. I'm loving that because it's just been so unique in what it could do. I can run Expert Belt, I can run Z-Move, I can run Choice Specs, I can run Choice Scarf if I need to. Its speed is good enough so that you can outspeed a lot of common threats, get a fast U-turn out on them if you have a bad matchup, or fire off powerful Dark Pulses,
hydro pumps, whatever it is, and just having that extra security blanket of water shuriken in the back is really useful. Of course, you do have that chance to go either 2 hits to 5 hits, but I mean, overall, just the fact you can run physical, special, you have priority both ways in physical and special, and you have so many other options. Greninja is really good. It's phenomenal overall. Its stats are good everywhere except for its defenses, and I mean, it's not meant to take hits, so yeah.
And like, I've seen things that have worse defense stats, in all honesty. Like, it's not like Dugtrio where it dies if something breathes on it. Like, it can take a priority move, which is insane. Like, if, like, other than Mach Punch, like, other than a really strong Mach Punch, I genuinely think Greninja could take a lot of priority moves.
Yeah, look,
so that's another thing. It's fast, and it can take priority moves decently well. It's not like Pheromosa where it dies if something breathes on it.
Of course. Yeah,
I think that Greninja is all around a very, very good Pokemon, especially with Protean.
Yeah, look, an extremely underrated part about it is that it does get access to a lot of support moves like Taunt and stuff like that, like your Spikes and your Toxic Spikes, like your Haze even, which can be kind of useful depending on what you're going up against. And look, it has options out the wazoo pretty much. And if you have a set you want to run it for it in a given week, you could run it and usually find a lot of success with it. There's not many things that wall a Protean Greninja because it has stab on pretty much everything. And right there, like, if you're a Skarmory, no, let's see, what walls Greninja? Azumarill, okay?
Gunk Shot.
Gunk Shot, exactly. And right there, you automatically resist the Play Rough. So if you just came in, you're Water and Dark still, you fire off a Gunk Shot, you become Poison type, and you resist the Play Rough. And right there, you kind of shut down that Azumarill right off the bat, and you have a super effective stab against it, which is just, it's too much. It's too much.
It really is.
Anyways, I think, do you have anything else to say on Greninja? Or, oh, actually, we forgot. Where do you place it? Would you ban it? Would you unban it compared to, like, a regular format with, like, Magearna, Lele, and Hoopa U? Or,
I would allow it in Uber format. I wouldn't allow it in regular play. Not at all. That thing is way too strong for regular format, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
So, yeah, I think it belongs in Uber format. I don't think it's like some of them on, like, it's not like a Genesect, for an example, where it would just ban it from an Uber format. I think this thing belongs in an Uber format. Even though it is OU right now, I definitely think it has its place in the Uber format. Blaziken, Greninja is very, very broken in standard play, and I think it's right where it belongs.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, there's a lot of different options you could run. It's got really good strength, Life Orb is amazing, and like your mediocre offensive stats of 95 and 103 are really going to be improved because you do have stab on everything. But anyways, that's enough about Protean Greninja. I think it's time to move on to the most gimmick Pokemon I have ever seen, but I can't deny how amazing it is, and that is Ash Greninja, Battle Bond Greninja. What do you think about this thing?
I actually have some thoughts about Greninja. So, I wanted to wait till we got for Ash Greninja to get into this. Alright, so I know in the ICB, I know you're in that. I was in the ICBA too at one point. I know what they do is they allow Battle Bond Greninja, Protean Greninja, and Toric Greninja all separately. Yeah. I frankly don't agree with that. There's just too many Greninjas running around. I feel like that, I don't know, that definitely needs to be changed. I don't know how they would change it, but now that the Greninjas get the same move pool, I definitely think that they need to be put together in some way. I think that'd be a pretty interesting concept, but I don't know. Like, I definitely am not a big fan of the whole 3 Greninja thing, because that means 3 different people could have Greninja, and that just gets so repetitive.
I'm not gonna say I'm like okay with there being 3 Greninjas running around, because it's the same kind of deal. If you have Mega Latias, Mega Latios, Latias, and Latios, that's 4 Latias, and they pretty much have the same move pool, same stats distribution, just about.
Exactly.
So that's a problem. But the thing is with Greninja, Battle Bond and Protean are really the ones that are going to do the most work. Those are the ones that are broken, quote unquote. Like, the Latias, they're both tier 1. The Mega Latias, they're both, like, best Megas. Some of the best Megas there are. Compared to, well, Torn Greninja, which is like tier 3, tier 4 sometimes even I've seen it in. But the issue that I have with Ash Greninja over Protean is you don't get that immediate power right away. You need to have Z moves on this Pokemon. You have to. Like, there's no way you can't, because you can blow something back with your regular Greninja stats of 95 attack and 103 special attack and 132 speed, and then get your Battle Bond going, you get your 50 points in each of your attacking stats and your 10 points in speed, and just really start blowing things back with priority Water Shuriken and your incredibly diverse move pool like we mentioned before with Protean Greninja. But you can't have 3 Greninjas running around at all times. So I would say 2 at most would be my thing, my suggestion, but other than that, like, It's too much.
So what I think putting both Protean and Battle Bond together would be kind of interesting. Like I'd love to see that happen just to like test it out. I've never seen that before happen. I'm not saying that it's not broken because I think it is, but I think it'd be interesting just to see if someone was willing to do that and just like, because I think in Sun and Moon, yeah, I can agree with the Greninjas being separate somewhat because they didn't have the same move pools. Now they do. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that, like you said. I know in every Ubers League I've seen, the Greninjas are all separate, and like what if all three of the people that have Greninja are in your division? That means you're going to be facing a Greninja 6 times out of 12 games if it's a 12-week season. And if it's not a 12-week season,
what if
10, you could be facing 10.
What if you have a Conkeldurr?
Oh, then rip.
Yeah, you're good to go then. You're fine.
Shadow Sneak, though, you know? I mean, how it goes.
Yeah, knockoff. Anyways, whatever. Let's just move on, though, with the rest of the discussion for it, because I think pairing them both together, Battle Bond and Protean, would take the best out of each of them, put them together, and then add an extra aspect to it because you don't know what you're prepping for. If you know
exactly, that's the one thing. The one thing I hate against it. Yeah.
Because of the speed and stuff like that. Like honestly, I find that prepping with Ash Greninja would honestly be some of the most difficult things in the world because you have the speed creep for the base 120s, 121s, and the base 130s as well that you're going to be facing. That's of course if there's a faster team. If you can outspeed everything with the base 122, then you're good to go there. But again, you got to make sure your speed works for both levels. So if you, let's say, need to outspeed, I don't know, a Sneasel, at base 122, you're going to outspeed that. But then at base 132, you're losing out on EVs that you can put into your attacking stats, which is unfortunate. So you gotta be really careful with the way you do your EVs. So yeah.
And completely off topic, I'm still upset this thing is in the game because they got no Chestnut and Delphox got no love. Hell, none of the starters ever get love. Yet this thing gets this.
Hey, a lot of starters.
I don't understand.
I've got 2 megas, okay? Like, I personally think there shouldn't be an Ash Greninja. It's just kind of like a cop-out, and it's gimmicky. I mean, it's yeah,
they put it in Smash Bros. Man, isn't that enough?
Just make it so that you can only get one, and that's it. So if you actually have it in game, that's it, just one. So you can't just go running around with a bunch of different Greninjas in your box, unless you gen it. Anyways, yeah. So do you have anything else to say on Greninja, like on Battle Bond Greninja? Like, which do you prefer over Protean? What do you think will be more likely to get unbanned or banned, or which you prefer in a league, or whatever?
I'll be flat out honest. Greninja isn't really my kind of mon.
Oh.
Because I am the kind of person that has this really weird OCD that never drafts 2 Pokemon of the same type. Therefore, I always draft Pokewaters. Now, I know this is kind of stupid because I know Greninja gets Protean. So I guess I would prefer Protean Greninja to Ash Greninja just because it can change its type. Because I like that. I like that it can change its type. But Ash Greninja, I definitely want to try out. I've seen Ash Greninja do work. I mean, I got 6-0'd by one once. Shout out to Deebs. But, yeah, this thing is definitely not fun to face. I think if given a weakened team in front of them, Ash Greninja can absolutely just run hand through that team.
100%. That's his best.
Yeah. So, I guess my final thoughts are on Ash Greninja. I think it belongs in an Ubers League. But I think maybe they could just draft one, and when that one is drafted, ban the other, something like that. Something different than just allowing 3 Greninjas to run around, in my opinion. That's my opinion on Ash Greninja, at least.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, I won't say anything, but I'm in a league that is allowing all 3 of these Pokemon, and I drafted one of them with my first pick. I'm not gonna say which one it is, but I know for a fact that if I was going to draft a Greninja, it doesn't matter which one it would be, I would need to get another water. In the IBL right now, Quillfish is my water, Samurott was my water before that, and both of them aren't that great. So I would need something that could actually take hits, and just the fact that Greninja is so good offensively, it does different things. Like, I know you were saying, oh yeah, like I won't draft 2 waters back to back because like they do pretty much the same thing. Well, what if you have a Swampert and a Mantine? They're not weak to any of the same moves. And at the same time, they do completely different things.
It's a weird OCD I have.
One's physical, one's special. Like, one is more supportive, the other one can be actually offensive. One's a special, one's a physical wall. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just like usually when I draft a team, I never draft 2 Pokemon of the same type. Very rarely will I ever double up on types. Usually I double up on like flying and stuff like that. Normally, later in the season, though, when I realize, oh, my team has holes, then I'll pick up Pokemon of the same type, and that's where I feel, I definitely have to try Greninja out one day, though. I definitely really, really want to try it out. It's just like, I don't know. I want to try out Protean Greninja first, then Ash Greninja, and I had the perfect opportunity to in Uber's League, and I didn't. I'm not saying when I drafted because I need to put up the draft analysis still, and that'll be later. But anyway, I feel like they both have their niches, but yeah, I definitely feel like don't have 3 Greninjas running around. That's like pretty much my only thing. Don't let 3 Greninjas run around. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So that's the last thought that I have on this topic. I think you're done. Do you have anything else to say you want to finish up with?
No, I am good.
All right, so without further ado, guys, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to let me know in the comment section below, as well as comment what you think about these 3 Pokemon we covered. Give me suggestions for other ban list suggestions. I have a few in the back, so I have, I believe, 2 or 3 more that are planned. 2 of them I think are gonna be with people. The other one I'm gonna do on my own, like I did the first 2. Also, make sure you go check out Brendan's channel, his Twitter, and his Discord server. All are linked in the description. And check out mine as well. And without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. And Brendan and I will see you guys next time.
Peace out.